Hey, how's it going? It's Grant
I'm Shelby.
with the Garden of Eater, and today we're going to talk about the hardest shrimp to keep and breed. Mostly just breed, keeping them. It's going to be relatively easy for the most part. However, there is some difficulties. I'm going to go over several different genus of shrimp, and we'll go through the difficulties with that. So you want to say hi, just real quickly?
Welcome in Yellowstone Aquatics, Crown Tail Half Moon, Aaron's Water Buddies, Monster Fish Gal, Timothy Reed, Frank, Scotty the Fish Freak, Silver Creek Aquatics, Lady Rorschach, Oink, hello, and Only Oscars, Jeff Kane, and I can't read that fast, and Craig, and Chris Aquazone, Skull Aquatics, Nate the Shrimp Nut, and it jumped on me. Richie Vega, Stephen P, Scuba Steve, TJ Autocross, Night Owl Arium, Robert Downey Jr., Dee Dee, Jenna P, Gary from GK Aquatics, NPA Fish Preacher, Jeff Brown, John Williams, Fish and Wall, and I said hello to everyone there.
And Crick Keeper's here.
And Cora Dolan Works. I know he was busy earlier.
All right. Well, we'll just have to wait for Crick Keeper. But let's just get right into it today. We've got a list of shrimp here. And of course, starting off with everybody's favorite shrimp, we have the Neocaridina. These are just the easiest shrimp for us to breed. In general, the easiest shrimp for everyone to keep and breed. I'm looking awfully yellow tonight. So the hardest Neocaridina shrimp, in my opinion, to breed, and that doesn't say very much, is going to be any of the varieties of Rillies. But if I had to pick one, more than likely it's going to be the orange. For whatever reason, that line is just not as stable. And just there's a lot of culling to be done, needs a lot of work. They don't breed nearly as fast as, say, the red Rillies or the blue and carbon Rillies. But in general, all really varieties of shrimp are going to require a lot of culling, a lot of work to keep the line looking good. And no matter how hard you try, getting the line to breed exactly perfect Rillies, breed them true, it's just like chasing a dream that's never going to happen. So with the Rillies, the parameters and setting up the tank and stuff like that, it's not really hard. All Neocaridinas, you set up the tank the same way, they're going to breed just as easy as one another, especially depending on the source. So if I had to pick, like, the hardest orange Rillie to breed would be one that was imported. So if you can source homebred shrimp, that is always going to be the easiest way for you to get a colony of shrimp breeding. And you'll notice on the list, some of the shrimp, you just can't get them homebred, and that's kind of why they are as hard as they are to get breeding. Next on the list, I've got Black Rose. For the lines, the genetics that are in the Black Rose, it just makes sense that they throw all different colors. You can get Bloody Marys and Blue Diamonds from the Black Rose line, as well as chocolates, because the Black Rose is really just a higher grade chocolate shrimp. Or if Shelby gets her way, there's going to be like one even in between the sweet teas. But so we got to move those, see what they look like inside, because the shrimp looking outside isn't necessarily going to look the same in the tank. So the blacks just throw a ton of greens now, or ton of culls. The next shrimp on the list are the green jades. I didn't put green emeralds on the list because they are breeding so true. And I did have the greens before the blacks, but then I thought about it. My line of green jades that I have going now doesn't really produce many ugly, wrong color culls, where the Black Rose, they just throw basically every color neo depending on what kind of line you have. I've seen them throw orange and yellows as well. So the greens, you can get them to breed fairly true. It's just they're not all going to look nice and green. Some of them are going to look, dull in color, kind of wild type and stripy. But I think the black rose throw just as many of those dull in color stripy, but they're kind of brown instead of the greenish hint to them. So, and then really all of the rest of the shrimp are super easy to breed and keep. But for whatever reason, all across the board, I don't really know many people that have very nice orange shrimp. So the orange neocardinas, I have those on the list simply because they do throw a ton of culls. And, I'm not even really happy with the colony that we have. We breed a lot of culls out of that line still. So they need work to be done. And because I've bought in so many different bags of orange shrimp from so many different sellers and breeders, and the majority of them are just not the color that you want. I watched one of Danikin's videos today, and one of his, he even admitted himself that he wasn't happy with one of the colors. They're just not as bright, and it's just like such a few small percentage of the orange that come out babies are actually good looking. So that about rounds it off with the Neos. Again, the way we've kind of been doing our streams the last few times, the first hour, we'll ask everybody to. That's why I asked about Crook Keeper, and I was like, oh, all right, let's just jump right into it. He usually makes the announcement and we post it, but please keep everyone's questions related to the stream. I see one right there. If you bring that up, is there a green release shrimp? Yes, there is. But I didn't put those like on or list those because they're so new. Also, I must have gotten super lucky, or I don't know what, but my line of greens that I bred and was able to get babies, maybe the ugly ones didn't survive or something like that. But for the majority of the babies, they're looking mighty, really variety, nice and green. Some of them had the blue bodies, but yes, we do have some green really shrimps. They're not available. They probably won't be available until like August of next year. We're going to move those into a tub outside, isolate it because we did get those from an importer beginning of early this year, and they did have some elobiopsis. So I would try to just avoid selling any of those until I know I've put them through the ringer and that fungus is not going to show up, and that'd be our problem rather than being your problem. So, any other questions?
No.
No?
Little statements. I mean, June says I keep finding the red/blue shrimp in the original tank.
Yeah, we've got several tanks where we've tried to catch all of the shrimp completely out of the tank, including like the Tangerine Tiger tank several times. And I've given up on trying to get rid of all the shrimp because they just keep coming back. And then they come back with vengeance because every generation that grows up in your tank is more adapted and suited to your water parameters and your style of keeping. And they're just going to thrive with each generation that it grows up in your tank and then produces their own offspring. So they just come back with vengeance every time and outbreed their parents. All right. Moving on to the ultimate neocaridina, the hardest neocaridina shrimp to breed. That is going to be, I saved the best for last, the purples. They are by far the rarest gem in the hobby, the purple neocaridina. Now there's pretty well stable lines of purple colonies out there, especially if you're looking in like Germany. There's a few breeders that have some really nice lines. But purple neocaridina, there's a reason why the importers don't have those on the list. There's a reason why there isn't somebody breeding them. We entered some purple rillies, so that would be like the ultimate hardest shrimp to breed at the American Shrimp Contest in Dallas, the first one that was held there. And we placed with them, but they were super small. I don't think we placed first, just simply because of size. However, they don't breed very true. I get a lot of red really blue bodies and every kind of red really cull out of the combo of them breeding. Out of 40 shrimp babies that I get, I might get one that looks kind of maroon, and then maybe one out of 100, I'll get one that's like 100% that's purple. I had a buddy over here the other night to see Dr. Anthony Mazeral's talk, and we had the flashlight at nighttime out in the greenhouse so we could view the shrimp a lot easier. And of course, there's purples in the ponds, but there's a ton of different Rillies and Rilly culls in there as well. Everything all right?
Mm-hmm.
Am I talking too much?
No, my stomach hurts.
Oh, it was a deep sigh. I was like, I must have said something wrong. I forgot to mention purple is Shelby's favorite shrimp. That's why it's the hardest shrimp, because she never gets her way. So I'm sorry. That is the main reason why purple shrimp are the hardest shrimp to breed.
It's all my fault.
Hold on, I gotta stop everything. Richard Reynolds, why would you schedule a COVID shot on Dr. Anthony Mazeral's talk day? Like, you know the risks. I hope you feel all right. I apologize myself for not having the fish bagged and ready. I thought maybe I could convince you to come out to Hot Pot with us. I knew there'd be 2 extra seats, one for you and the wife, and you're a friend and part of the fish family. So I thought you would enjoy that, and we could keep your pencil fish nice where they were. And then maybe you'd forget about the Corys and they could have just stayed where they were after, a couple of shots of Dr. Anthony's Peruvian rum. You might have forgot all about them. But I'm hoping you're feeling better, and I hope you have great success with the pencil fish. For those that don't know, Shelby and Richard got the new pencil fish that are out in the hobby. I posted a picture today on the Facebook. They are insane looking. So Shelby even already said if she can't get them breeding, she will be giving you some, Richard, if you can't get yours and you need some extras. I would like to see those being bred in Florida, especially you, because you're one of our go-to fish breeders. If you are looking for fish, tgoeshrimp.com. We have some of Richard's Celestial Pearl Danios on the website. All right, best tips to transition from Neos to Caridina. What kind of shrimp are you talking? But generally speaking, it doesn't matter. It's going to be like a 2 to 3 hour drip. If you're going like a full point on the pH scale, I would definitely do a 2 to 3 hour drip. But after that, as long as it's a Neocaridina, they should go to Caridina parameters quite easy. They're just not going to breed as fast for you. I'm sorry. I thought you had something to say. All right. So that's going to wrap it up for the Neocaridinas. By far on the list, they are the easiest of the shrimp that I will be talking about tonight. I will be saving the best for last, you better believe it. But next on my list are going to be tiger shrimp. Now, all of the shrimp on the tiger shrimp that I'm listing are all wild type. Most of them are, well, not all of them, but I'm going to talk about others as well. But the 2 main wild caught tigers that are on my list are going to be the wild type Galaxy tigers. And I have to say that because before the Galaxy Pinto or Galaxy Tiger or Nanashi and Nancy, those shrimp all have the same genetics. But before those came out, we already had Galaxy tigers in the hobby. It drives me absolutely nuts that people use multiple names for shrimp. I even had like a, what do you say? Nebula. I had the Nebula line going. And then I saw that somebody already called another type of wild type shrimp Nebula. So I did the right thing and was like, well, I'm going to go with a different name and think of something else. My shrimp really didn't like that, and they stopped producing the beautiful Nebula colors on them. They're like, fine, you're not going to give us the name. So that backfired on me. But the renaming and same names, it's kind of crazy in the hobby. So I'm kind of shooting myself in the foot right now and don't have the scientific terminology, but have no fear. Dr. Anthony is not watching. He's on an airplane right now. Doubt he's going to make it this far into the rewatch. So no scientific names tonight. Our simpletons will be happy. All right. So the Galaxy Tigers, wild caught. They're very dull in color, kind of greenish with little spots and speckles on them, but They're relatively very hard to breed. I bought some. They were shipped to us over from Canada, and the seller wrapped the breather bags in grocery bags. I don't know about you, but if I were to take a grocery bag over Shelby's head, I don't think she'd be able to breathe through it. So I don't know if the bags were doing much breathing, but I had some horrible DOA with that order. So I didn't have any luck. I bought them off of another person who homebred them, and I kind of was just not in the same water parameters. I was convinced I could take everything and breed them in my water parameters at the time. Didn't have any luck. Tried them a third time with the same water parameters as the other breeder. They lived for just a very long time. I just never got any breeding. Male female ratio might have been an issue with that, but they're just a harder shrimp. In fact, the person that was breeding them in the States, Jeff London, oh man, he's like the best shrimp breeder in Minnesota. I should know his last name, but he had them going. They just spread very slow. And other than him, I don't know of anybody that actually got them to breed in the United States. So it is possible. Next are the leopard tigers. We got a few babies out of these, but after that, they kind of stalled out. We weren't lucky in getting the babies to breed out. And then we tried again. No luck. Then Vang in Chicago, he had bought some off of him, and I think I got all males and wasn't able to breed. It is just an unlucky thing that can happen. But when you buy over 200 different bags of shrimp, the odds are it's going to happen to you once in a while. Then the next on my list, I have the Aurora blue tigers. These are not a true wild caught shrimp. They're like selected bred from the wild Serrata tiger shrimp. However, they just for me. I've tried several different parameters, bought them from several different people, and it's just one of the shrimp that just go so slow. I can never meet the demand for them. I get very, very small amounts of babies periodically throughout the year. So that's why they're on the list. And then to kind of top it off, I have the orange-eyed blue tigers. These are kind of like the tiger shrimp that throw the most culls. So they're going to take a little bit more work to keep them nice. They also can breed rather slow. If they're breeding slow for you and you're keeping them in Neocaridina parameters, maybe move them over to the Caridina parameters. We had more luck that way. They were able to grow faster, breed faster, and we're able to meet the demand a little bit nicer with those. But if you already keep them in Caridina, try the reverse out for you. I know Eric is able to breed them in Neocaridina parameters just as fast as I am in Caridina. So it is doable. If you're not having luck, maybe just try that out. And then the other thing I have on my list, and I kind of scratched it off, is the normal eye black tiger shrimp, just because they do require a little bit of culling and stuff like that, but there's not really anybody in the United States that has them. I have a like half tank of them, and I say that because I'm in the middle of making my own, but they're producing a lot of culls, and I don't really have any that even look tiger. They're more like solid King Kongs without black dots.
Did you ever answer that question on the screen? This is what you have on your site that you really want to sell more of.
No, I never saw you switch it, and I just got caught looking at you the whole time on the stream and didn't notice it. Just gotta catch. I gotta read your face so I know if I'm doing something wrong or doing something really bad or not. I'm never doing anything good, so gotta stay in that line right there. What do you have on your site that you really want to sell more of? Oh, do we have red steels on the website? Mm-hmm. Are you sure?
I know I have blue steel.
All right, steel culls. I can get rid of a ton of steel culls. Shrimp outside, maybe yellows. We have a ton of yellows. And then all of our wholesalers, they don't want yellows, they want blues, and we don't even have blues for them. And I got to break the bad news for them. I'm all over the place. Sorry, I'm a little out of it. We had to drag Dr. Anthony through the swamps of Florida all weekend. I had god awful time. We didn't collect any new species or no amphibians, not a single turtle. Uh, but lucky enough, Alex is still in town, so I'm still in collecting mode until he leaves. So no rest for the wicked. And that was a complete joke, by the way. If you didn't know, I absolutely adored every minute of Dr. Anthony being in town. I learned so much. Like,
You're gonna run away to Peru with him.
no, that's not gonna happen. But several
Question.
techniques in doing the collecting and stuff like that. What shrimp were you gonna say we should sell more of on the website, though?
I love them all, so no. I did put my
You know,
Galaxy Pintos on the site, and I would like to get rid of some of them to start selective breeding certain tanks. So we do have some of those up on the website.
I got an idea. Word of the week brought to you by Dr. Anthony Mazeral with the Ornamental Research Center of Peru. This week, the word is Cladophora, and it's a scientific term for the algae that's like steroid using hair algae. It's super hard to get rid of. It's growing all over the place in Florida. I used to pronounce it the wrong way. It's like one of the first things the doctor heard, and is like, "What did you say?" There's no such thing as that. Did you mean Cladophora, you idiot? And I'm like, that's how you say it? I'm sorry. I've been saying it all wrong. And how can you fight an enemy and win if you don't even know how to say their name the right way? So thank you, Dr. Anthony. Next week, you can tell me what other scientific word I butchered, and I will get an email or voicemail from him on how to pronounce it the right way. And we'll get that for you guys next week. We'll grow together.
So Cordellin asks, can you breed colored eyes into Neos or just Caridina?
So the orange-eyed trait, the actual true orange-eyed trait, comes from the orange-eyed blue tigers that I just talked about earlier. Now, if you look in the pupils of the eyes, there's different color eyes for all different Caridina. But if you look at the pupils are almost always black, if not brown in color. If it's like an orange background or a different color background, maybe the pupils will look a little bit brown. But with orange eye shrimp, there is no color to the pupil at all. It is all the way around 360 degrees, exactly the same orange, bright orange, maybe yellow. There's different hues of orange and yellows or silvers that the shrimp's eye can be. But the hollow eye is the other exception, where no color in the pupil. So that's how they get the name hollow eye, and then the rest of the eye is kind of red. But with Neos, be very careful. There is some not so, just some sketchy posts being posted where the eyes look like they could be photoshopped. Some of the more legitimate, less photoshopped pictures, you can definitely see pupils in the black color in the eye. However, going through my ponds outside, I can catch some of the lower grades. They'll have like white eyes and then black pupils. But I never really thought of them to be something cool or something to work with. It always seemed to be with the lower grade shrimp. So kudos to whoever took those shrimp, bred them for the eye color and the shell color to be a little bit thicker. But right now it's just Caridina.
Larry D asked, is there a trick to getting blue dreams to breed?
If you're not having luck right now, increase your water changes. If you're only doing 20% every other week, or do 40 to 50% every week. Those winter lull, that's just a myth. You got to kind of combat it with a little bit extra love and do bigger water changes, feed a little bit more, and that should get them breeding just a little bit. Also, size matters. If they're not, 2 centimeters or 3 centimeters in size, maybe they're not ready yet.
getting known. We did not find invasive African land snails. I know there is, but they're more towards Pasco County,
which is only 30
They're
minutes away
huge.
from us. But
and we'll be going collecting there eventually, but not yet.
I explained to Dr. Anthony that where we live, we are just north of all the invasives that really ravage through Florida. We do have some koi. Dr. Anthony knows. And we do have some black acara, but those were a little bit more south of us. And the koi, obviously, those can survive the winter. And the common pleco has also sadly made its way onto some of our golf courses.
Continue. I just thought that I was putting that up because
I don't know why, but I read it as Claudophora phophorus or something like that, and I was like,
Claudia.
oh man, he's showing me up. There's a different type
that
of
dirty
Claudophora.
lady in our tanks. Claudia.
Alrighty then. Moving on to the next type of shrimp. I know the last ones were Caridina. These ones are still Caridina, but we're going to focus more on the bees. Let's start small. The super red crystals. Now, Grant, why super red crystals? They do throw a lot of coals. And for me, this is on my list really because for whatever reason, I have the worst luck with super red crystals. Every time I cull for the super nice ones, like the Santa hats, it's that time of the year. You want white on the head, full red body, little white on the tail, as if you were to stand the shrimp up, it looked like a Santa hat. Well, you cull them all out, and for me, I got all males 3 times. 3 times I've done this to myself. Like, what are the chances that I myself just cull heavy, get rid of the adults, use them for crossbreeding projects, just keep the 10 Santa hats or as many as I had out of the first few clutches of babies, and use those to breed, and they all end up to be dudes. Like, total sausage fest. Like, I can't win with those shrimp whatsoever. However, blacks, no problem. There's females in there, and they've got those booming. Even Eddie has been able to breed those. I did not have success as much as Eddie on the first go, but the second and the third batches that I got earlier this year, those are booming. Look for super black crystals on the website, but not super reds, and no time soon. I will need to start all over for those. They do throw a lot of culls. I know they're looked at as a crystal shrimp. I do think that there is a little bit of hybrid. I know one of the legit breeders in the States, he got a red calcio come out of his super red crystals. So I don't know if one morphed out of the other. Maybe a red calcio is just a mutation of the super red crystal lines. But I don't think I could use super red crystals to make Michelins. But we're going to find out on that. You got an interruption here?
Couple things.
Ooh.
We'll get back to a couple of questions that don't pertain to the topic later. Richard said Caridina Neocross.
I don't think it's possible. There's a few people who have claimed that it's possible, and I think their reputation went straight in the drain as soon as they tried to claim it as legit. There is no real proof behind it, and so many people have tanks where they've tried and are not successful. So I think they were like clout chasing and not really legitimate.
So this one's not a question, but I want to bring this up so that you can discuss this. Blake's Aquatics, welcome in, says they might have been covered, but just about all orange-eyed shrimp are blind as well, I think.
So I remember reading that. I don't think it's true, though, because you catch orange-eyed shrimp, and they know right where the net is and everything like that. And maybe they have super antenna and they really good echolocation or something like that. Like maybe they're like hammerhead sharks meet bats underwater. Well, hammerheads are also underwater. Dang it. There goes that theory. But I don't think so. I think they can see, just not very well, maybe because of their eyes. But if they couldn't see, it'd be so easy to catch orange-eyed red tiger shrimp. I think, or blues or yellow king kongs or any of the orange-eyed for that. I do remember reading that, and I also remember that they're only orange eyes and that they're blind because they're found in caves that have no light or anything to them. And then somebody else told me that that wasn't true either, and that they're not wild caught. So
Too much false information about it.
Personally, I don't have the time to do all that research, but there's another guy here in Florida. Maybe he's listening with Lucas Bretz. Maybe Lucas Bretz already kicked him out of the house, but Alex would be the perfect person to put on that research mission. Maybe that'll be a collaboration project I would be willing to do with him. I'm sure we could leverage
Orange-eyed shrimp do make movement when we're on the outside of the tank taking photos as well. So I don't believe they are completely blind. They can't see. They at least can see shadows. So that wouldn't be blind. It would be like cataracts. Maybe.
This one. That's why she's a keeper. Maybe just a little bit smarter than I am, but I don't know. I even knew that. We've talked about that, and you can't remember if you put shrimp food in the box or if a pure Michelin, a pure red crystal shrimp is going to look the same as a crystal red. But you could remember that? Woman. But that's why I have her. Anything I don't know, she'll remember for me.
Continue with your thing and I'll find more.
All right.
Scotty had ice cream without you, though. And he wants to talk about Killy's fish, not shrimp anymore.
That's strike 2 and 3 because we're not. We were gonna put aside our powerhouse talk and make it exclusive for the Keystone class this year, since Aquashella hasn't announced their dates and times yet. But I guess I'm gonna just have to do it at the Tampa Bay Aquarium Society instead. Steer eye.
So Coradon says, is there a time of day / photo period that is best to do water changes for breeding? Like some fish breed best when a water change at dawn.
I don't think so for shrimp. I don't think it matters because in the rainy season, it's pumping out just water whenever it can. Maybe some odd days. I don't know the rain schedule in Asia, but I think as long as you're doing 20 to 30% every week, the shrimp are probably breeding all year outside and in the streams. I know here in Florida, our rivers stay a nice constant 72 degrees all year round. I believe the streams where the wild caught shrimp are, it's probably pretty consistent like that with a good flow. It's probably just consistent water all year round, like automatic water changes basically, and the shrimp are going to breed regardless of whether it rains or not. I don't think they're like Corys or Angels or most of the Amazon. All right. So after Super Crystals, now the Bloomfields, shout out Shrimp Envy. We have a new product on the website, the barley pellets. I think we mentioned it last week. It's not that new. I'm sorry. It's a week old. Ignore that. But they might laugh when I say red calcio's on the list. They probably going, those things breathe like yellow King Kongs. Well, I'm sorry. That was not the case for me. I bought some off of the original imports when they first came in. They were not cheap. I bought some off of the first person that got them breeding in the United States. No luck. I got them from the person that had the nicest colony. I'm talking nice red stripes and solid yellow body. I can't remember. I don't even know if we knew his exact real name. But he was in Florida, got out of the hobby, and all of the adults passed away. Like when you buy most colonies, full colonies.
Daryl?
No. Most of he was in Georgia.
Oh, the first one.
Yeah.
Okay. Excuse you.
I'm sorry.
Thank you so much, Garcia Aquatics, for a $5 super chat. Said, how are you guys? Garcia Aquatics here.
We are doing just fine and dandy. I hope you're doing well. I would like to make a trip down to South Florida in March, I think, when Sam Scales makes it down there, and do a little fly fishing, hang out with my buddy Mark, and of course, check out Garcia's Aquatics, and maybe, if we're welcomed, come see your fish room.
And here's your video.
Well, much
Thank
appreciated. Everyone should go check out Garcia Aquatics. After the stream, though, you don't want to miss the giveaway. There's still going to be some free stuff, so hold your horses. All right. So, the red calcios, they just no luck for us. Black calcios, again, maybe it's a red thing with me. No problem. I even got my blues that way. I even got some funny blacks with some blue noses. That's got to be something different. We can talk about that later when I get more of those, but just a little tease. But bump up the red calcios just a little bit harder, and you've got the red scorpions. Some of you might not have heard of those. It is a calcio. You got red, black, blue, and then red scorpions because they're still red. You got to come up with something different, but they're all in the same family. And in fact, you can keep all 4 of those all together in the same tank, and you're going to get no like weird mutation or mutts or anything come of it. You will just get a mix of those 4 calcios come out of the offspring. However, the red scorpions, they're the hardest ones to breed, the most sensitive, and they're going to throw more culls and stuff like that. So I do have those right below red calcios because if I didn't, it'd be a shame. Yeah, maybe the blues are a little bit harder to breed than the reds, but not for me. I don't know why. So sticking with Caridina, we've got pintos. Now, pintos, they're not the hardest shrimp to breed. They're just as easy as crystals or Taiwan bees, but I do have them on the list because they do require a generous amount of culling. Same with the fancy tigers. They are just cull producing machines. They're going to throw crystal looking shrimp, Thai bees, and then if you're really trying to keep the nice, super high grade fancy tigers, well, maybe 10 of the babies are going to be acceptable for the first, month or two until you can tell if they're going to be really nice and gain more dots, gain some nice stripes, keep that full coloration or not. But right off the rip, like 90% of the babies are going to be like ugly ducklings, and you can probably tell, and you need to move them over into another cull tank. That is why the fancy tigers and some of the pintos, the newer the pinto, the more expensive because they're not really bred as true. And the truer the shrimp is, the easier it is to mass produce them. And that's going to drop down the price. So the fancy tigers, the galaxy pintos, and of course, boas and pythons are going to be even harder and harder than the name I listed beforehand to get them to breed because every single step of the way, you're going to get more and more lower grade, just not up to your galaxy or boa standards. Then on top of those, we can smack on metallic color or purple color or even getting 2 or 3 different colors on the exact same shrimp. I was trying to take photos today of Shelby's Galaxy Pintos to get those up on the website for you, since Dr. Anthony was just joking about taking all of them for his discus. I got my dream discus. I was willing to give away all of Shelby's shrimp for them. I was like, no problem, Doc. You want them? I just want the 5 discus. Shelby wanted the discus too. She was going to be happy and just fine and dandy with it. I got the shrimp from Dee Dee. Thank you, Dee Dee. I did outbid you. I placed $5 extra bid on top, so that way I didn't just, take over your bid. I was there in the auction. My name was just muted. You didn't see it. Sorry. But we got those really cool shrimp. Again, we posted photos on the website. One of the shrimp the males have 1 claw on one side. The females, no claws. They are small shrimp still, just like Caradinas and Neos. I do think they're digging though in the tank. They're showing some very interesting behavior. So I need a drink. Is there anything you can save me with?
Silver Creek Aquatics said, do shrimp do more of a magic mommy and daddy dance with rainwater? I would think that if you lowered the TDS, not dramatically, but a little bit, and dribble it in like we do, which kind of mimics rainwater hitting the top, they do tend to bounce and go a little crazy. So
I just think the dirtier your water is before you do the water change, chances are the more they're going to dance, because more of the females that weren't in the right water parameter or stress level to produce babies, after a water change, all of that can change, and all of a sudden you've got a ton of dancing males. So I do like the daddy dance, though. That is not one I've heard before. But I'm sorry.
Snaptight asked, did you announce how many tanks you have yet?
I was going to get to that before we announce the next giveaway.
I'll write it down.
I'm trying to wrap all of this up. I don't know. Is Crypt Keeper here?
I haven't seen him yet.
Oh, Crypt Keeper.
He might not have signal. He might be at the camp. Is that where he goes?
I know, but how am I going to bring up his question of the week? He didn't send a video this week. Moving on. We'll figure that out. But the metallics, the boas, the purples, again, you can breed 1,000 galaxy shrimp, and you might get lucky and get a good 10% of those being one of those three, but you could also get 10. Like, the numbers are that low on some of these lines, and chances are you're not buying out of the best tank that the breeders are selling. And if it's the imports, you're probably getting the nice ones that are popping out of their cull tanks. So it's very hard to get lines that produce the quality that they show without throwing a ton of culls, and that's why they're on top of the list. Also, Pentos, Tai Bees, it doesn't matter. You have to have that really nice, perfect pH, stable, consistent, if you want high percentage of baby survival rate. If you don't have that low pH, the babies are not going to molt. And if they can't molt, they can't shed their skin. And they're basically like if you threw a toddler and try to grow it up for the first 2 years of its life in a really tight jacket, it won't be able to grow its organs or anything like that, and it's going to choke out and die in that jacket. So you have to make sure you have that low pH, because it's only going to take within the first week that baby shrimp is going to molt. And if there's any fluctuation up and down with your light cycle, that's going to affect their molting as well. So perfect parameters, and you should do all right.
Thank you so much for the $20 super chat. It says we love Grant and Shelby.
Oh, well, much appreciated, Eric. Thank you so much.
Got the video.
Hit it. Sorry, that was delayed. I'll get it better next time. I thought Shelby was going to click faster. Oh.
You know what?
But
sorry.
Just for the simple parameters and the amount of numbers that I got to stay on topic, or else I'm going to get sidetracked. And Shelby's never going to find the answer to her question after me and Mark are done just off in left field the whole time.
Don't
Shelby still doesn't even know. But we got to stay on task here. Thank you so much, Eric. I'm sorry. I just moved right past those donations. On to the topic. Staying on. But we do appreciate it. I'll come back to that. But there is one on my list of Caradina shrimp that I think are the hardest out of all of the Caradina shrimp to keep and breed. I'm not going to put the Yellow King Kong Rillies on this list, because Yellow King Kongs, they breed like crazy. They do produce really does produce a ton of culls, but get over it. They just throw too many to be on the list. What does make it on the list are the skeleton keys. And if you're a true old school shrimp breeder, or maybe like a crypt keeper who is like maybe diving into them shrimp forms, You might know what a skeleton key is. Other people are like, isn't that a boost? It's both. It's also a key that they used to use in the olden days for those young ones. But there's people that are 10 years younger than me that might not know, Shelby. But they are like a blue bolt or a blue bee, most likely, or not blue bee, I'm sorry, golden bee, even the snow whites. They can produce a really morph where the body is white on the head and tail and the body is fully clear. I've seen these entered in contests. I've seen them up for sale a few times, but the problem with these are you can take these, separate them into their own tank, and eventually some of them can turn completely solid white, and they're not even considered a skeleton key anymore. Then getting them to breed true is like the hardest thing you can ever do. You can just go lay down for a second. If you have a stomach ache, I can man the handles all by myself.
You cannot man the handles.
I can do
it. You
it.
can handle the men.
Can they?
Okay, continue on your topic. You have 15 minutes.
I know,
I don't want to hear
it. It's making you sick. You got a stomach ache because of me. All right. But the skeleton key, no matter how hard I try to get a second generation to show it, I haven't gotten any luck. I've seen other people try, no success. And the fact that these have been around in the hobby for ages, and there's nobody that has like a complete like line or true line of these going or even available at all. That is why I have them at the top of my list for hardest Caridina shrimp to breed. Yeah, I'm sorry. There's no cold water.
You know, it says I like shrimp and maybe like 3 people. It's down to 2, so I'm gonna have to scratch this out and put 2 people. My children.
Okay. She won't drink warm water, and there's no ice.
Just
and
gave me an empty cup. Empty cup over here.
I had plans.
What are we acting
to
here?
grab a cold water or
nice
some ice
and
fill it up with the Brita filter, but no, there's neither. And I'm the one to blame. But I'm sure those kids took all the ice in their cups right before bed. But I'm one of the not
Have
2 people.
Have you ever bred bamboo shrimp?
Huh. Talk about that later. I'm sorry. Sorry, Scotty.
That should be on one of the hardest shrimp to breed.
It should be. I don't know. Maybe it's on the list. We'll find out. The nerve of this woman. All right. That was a joke. But that isn't the hardest of all the Caridina shrimp because, no, that is. I just forgot to talk about another one that is on the list. And I don't know if it should be on the list. It's one of my honorable mentions, and that is going to be the orange-eyed shrimp with the white on them, or the white gene. A lot of people in the beginning, when the orange-eyed hybrid and morph started to come out, that they were, almost impossible for somebody else to replicate the orange eye white gene, and that the only way to be able to get that gene was going to be to buy the line of shrimp that already had it. And I just was like, that's got to be a white lie so somebody can continue to make money for as long as possible. I didn't believe all the hype about it, and I'm going to explain why. I pretty much knew that it could be replicated, but I understand why it's a little bit harder. So if you take a tangerine tiger, for instance, and you try to breed out a crossbreed with that, you're going to go through 2, 3, maybe even 4 generations before you start to see white return on that shrimp. Now there's a cheat. You can cheat and you can crossbreed back with a crystal shrimp or a Taiwan bee, and you are going to increase with just the second generation the amount of white that you can throw back on to the shrimp. But with orange eyes and it's an extra recessive gene, you're going to have to do the crossbreeding back with the orange eye to get the orange eye. And then when you try to crossbreed back with the crystal shrimp to get the white, you're going to erase all the work that you did with the orange-eyed shrimp. However, if you just stayed with the original cross of orange-eyed shrimp and your white shrimp and then crossbred them again to find out where the orange-eyed gene was and did no back crossing at all, maybe 5, 6, 7 generations later, that white gene is going to show up again. And once you get the orange eyes, all it takes is one orange eye crossed with another orange eye, and that recessive gene never goes away. It's homozygous. It'll never go away. However, that white gene is going to be there. It's just you got a selective breed to get it to come back. And just by simply breeding more and more pigment, eventually that recessive gene will pop up. So I don't think it's as hard of a shrimp that everybody was leaving it out to be. All right, Brandon, I saw you. Does the metallic gene come from a certain Caridina, like specifically Pinto, Tiger, Crystal, etc.? I used to believe that it came from the Serrata crossed with Taiwan B gene, and that those two combinations were what made all purple shrimp. However, I do have purples coming out of the German Fancy Tiger line that I have, and I know for them, in order to be legit Fancy Tigers, which they are, they're not producing any back stripes, no orange coloration, or any of the clear signs of the Serrata gene. There's purple in some of the red and black Tai Bees that come out of it. So erase the Tangerine or Serrata gene from that equation. I just think it's mainly the Taiwan B gene, and maybe it's something to do with inbreeding or something like that, that eventually the longer you breed out the shrimp, the higher the chance of the purple showing up. Because I've got some Galaxy Pintos that I've been breeding those out for 3 or 4 generations, and now I'm getting purples, and they weren't showing any purple coloration till then whatsoever till now. So, and the only difference has been crossbreeding. No new genetics have been not only different. The only thing that's been constant with them is the inbreeding. Nothing's changed, no crossbreeding or anything like that. So I know it's got to be due to that.
Joe asked, welcome in, Joe, said, do you cull your Neos? What do they look like after a few generations if you place them in Skittles tank?
So, yeah, we spend a lot of time culling the Neos. They are in 275-gallon tubs. We sell as many culls as we possibly can. And when doing orders, even if we're not catching culls, whatever's in the net that's ugly, we have a cull pond or cull tank, and we remove them as we see them as much as possible. Now, if you got a Skittles tank, after a few generations, it doesn't even take that long. It just takes 1 generation. If 2 different colors crossbreed, there is a 99% chance that those shrimp are going to make wilds, and a wild shrimp crossed with any color is going to make a wild shrimp. So if you don't do the work and do it right away before you've got a 1 centimeter size shrimp, because at 1 centimeter, a male wild shrimp can get any of your females pregnant, and then bam, you've got more wilds, and then eventually you're not even going to see the true color after the adults and maybe their true offspring phase out, because it's just the chances of them breeding true go out the window. How's it going, Ray? Robert at Ray Aquatics. Said it backwards. What's up, man? All right, moving on. Paracaridina. They're harder than Caridina to breed. At the top of the list, start backwards. The easier of the Paracaridina shrimp to breed are the Super Princess bees. They're just not easy to breed, though, by any means. They breed super slow for us, and they just don't like certain water parameters. I've tried moving them into different tanks to get them to breed, so we can get several tanks of them going, so we could sell more of them. And some tanks they don't like it at all. You got to move them around to really find one that they're gonna do well in, and then they only thrive for a short amount of time, and then it's like, oh, we're gonna go stagnant again, and you're gonna have to move us around. So those ones are difficult. What's even more difficult for us, and it's not the same for everybody, this is just for us, are the blue bees. I've tried those 3 times now, and no luck getting those to really go. I got babies; they lasted for a while. I just never got any real breeding to start another colony or keep one going for very long. So, Paracaridina definitely not as easy. For the most part, they are mostly brought in as wild types. There are a few breeders in the States that have the blue bees going, and a few of us that have the super princess bees. So they're very rare to find on the importers list as well. And then these actually should have been before the Paracaridinas, but the Babalti. The green or the zebra, they're both rather difficult. We tried the zebra one time, and we got some breeding, but just like the blue bees, the second generation never really did anything for us. We did have to move their tank from Jaden's room out to here, so I don't expect much from them to be going on. I'm probably going to buy more from a different source and try those again. But we have tried the greens like 3 times, the green Babaltis, and not really had any luck. Again, we have them going right now. I'm working on my second generation, but it seems like the second generation has nothing or no interest in those water parameters at all, and that makes no sense to me because the Neos, the Caridina that I've all listed before the Paracaridina, every generation that breeds in that tank gets more and more used to the water parameters, and therefore each generation after that produces more and more offspring. I don't get it with those Paracaridina and Bobalti shrimp. Maybe it's because I've got them so far away from the wild parameters that I need to maybe go back to the bare necessities and natural method for their tanks. Then we're going to move on. Again, there's breeders of those kind of shrimp, even in tap water for Babalti and bluebies. So they're not quite as hard as the Sulu essay shrimp or Suluisi. How did the doc say it? Suluisi, right?
Yeah.
Suluisi. All right. I don't know. Maybe that'll be next week's word of the week. I don't know. We'll find out. The doc will let us know. Well, if not, I'll let them know 58 minutes in, check the timestamp, and let us know how we did on that. But for the majority of these shrimp, except for now we have stable colonies in the United States of cardinals, the Dennerli cardinal shrimp, for a very long time. We've had our colony for over 6 years breeding. We have the white orchids. Those have been around for a while as well. And then just recently, the black galaxy, the blue-legged poso, the yellow cheeky, and some of these other ones have found stable colonies in the United States. So you can get your hands on these. I wouldn't try to get them right now, but come springtime when weather warms up, shipping with those, you'll have a lot more success with that, and they'll be a rather easy to breed. But at the top of the list for Sulu essay shrimp, I've got the Harlequins. I don't know anybody in the United States that has those breeding. I've tried those myself 3 times with Shelby, and we haven't had any luck. But the rest of them, they still all need very stable water parameters. They need that heater, and heat needs to be constant. You've got to heat the water that you put into the tank, because chances are nobody keeps their house at the same room temperature. To keep the water at 82, your house would probably be 84, 86, unless it was a very tall up tank, then maybe in the 80s it'd get up there. But it's just rather hard to get the Harlequin and rest of the shrimp to breed if you're not going to do stable water parameters, mix your salts, get everything nice and constant. If you try to do tap, 1 week your tap water can come out with some irregulation and you're going to wipe out all of your Sulawesi shrimp. So those are all of the shrimp basically that are bred in the hobby. So that is my list of hardest shrimp to breed. Oh no, I'm sorry. There is another shrimp. I forgot. The Amanos. So all the shrimp that I listed are easy compared to the Amano. Now the Amano is going to be the hardest shrimp to actually breed on the list. I have other shrimp, and they are my hardest shrimp to breed, mainly because nobody that I know of has ever bred these. I haven't even seen a research paper of somebody doing it overseas, let alone in the United States. As far as I know, all of those shrimp are being wild caught and brought into the hobby. I'm sure before Amanos, you can put ghost shrimp. Ghost shrimp are relatively hard to breed just because they go into a larva stage. And like everybody's like, oh, I was going to breed ghost shrimp to feed to my cichlids, and I just could never get it to go. Well, they just need high flow or really dirty water. It just depends on the source of where you get the shrimp. And most of the people try the opposite, not very good luck with it. And it's hard to breed shrimp in very high flow because the larva ends up getting sucked up or stuck to the filter or the intake or something like that. So, Almanos, however, they're a little bit harder than ghost shrimp. You can get lucky and get some ghost shrimp to breed in a tank with a sponge filter and some tap water. It's doable, but them being all wild caught, imported, they're not nearly as easy as the rest of the shrimp that I named before them. Did I ignore a whole question before that already?
I answered it.
Oh, all right. Can you keep neos and the aquatic isopods in the same tank? Yes, absolutely. Every single aquatic isopod that we've sold off the website has come out of a 7.5-gallon aquarium, and it has green emerald shrimp, Neocaridina parameters, Ceru stone, and I've even got yellow King Kongs breeding in that same tank with some Malaysian trumpet snails. So yes, that is the recommendation for the aquatic isopods is in Neocaridina tanks.
We hit the hour mark, though. I would like you to announce the giveaway. So
all
we
right,
can start
first
collecting.
giveaway. It's mini Christmas giveaway. If you guys didn't get it, it's for a portion of mini Christmas moss. Not the only giveaway we're going to do tonight. It is the first one, though. Pun intended. Let's start.
Hashtag mini Xmas.
All right. There you have it. Go for it. The hashtag is live. We will be drawing that before the next one goes off in 30 minutes. So,
Hey, Richard is asking, do you have any Sulawesi cardinals for sale? No, we do not, and we would not ship during the coldest months. We usually only
you can
ship
come pick
during
them
the
up,
summer.
though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I know, but like for anyone else to know.
We do, though. If you wanted the Cardinals, take a look at the Black Galaxy. It's like the next step up. Cardinals are kind of dull and plain. I have some of those I can let go to you, and I'm sure I'll just take it off my tab.
And then Grant,
which, by the way, I had all the money to pay your tab. If I had known you were coming to the house, I was at the auction. I was planning on paying you, taking care of that, because we got another 100 Celestial Pearl Danios from Richard. I'm sorry.
Neat. If you notice a death in the Caridina tank right after finding a fresh shed, what could this mean?
It means that the dead one wasn't the one that molted. So you've got something going right in your tank if you've got a molt. Something going wrong in your tank, though, if you've got death. So without knowing your parameters, I couldn't tell you that. It's also just a way of life. Some shrimp just die, even if everything is perfect. Maybe it was old. Maybe it had a tumor or something that we can't see with the eye, our naked eye ourselves. And we're not going to cut open the stomachs of the shrimp to figure out exactly what happened, So without knowing your parameters, I'm sorry, I can't really help you. Should I go back to my Amano shrimp?
If you're not done talking. But Frank did ask, Grant, what are your thoughts on shrimp being fed every day according to the European shrimpers? What? That sounds ridiculous.
No, I mean,
unless it's
depending,
a huge tank.
there's Asian shrimp breeders that feed 2 or 3 times a day. It depends on how many shrimp you have in your tank, and what your routine is. For me personally, we feed every other day, and we do water changes every other week. I don't overstock my aquariums. I would prefer 10 females and 2 or 3 real quality males for our 10-gallon tanks to be breeder tanks. But that's why I have so many tanks for all of our breeding projects. With the Europeans, they might not have as many tanks. I know Nico, he's got like 300 aquariums, but he does a lot of work and growth with biofilm. And if they're not doing biofilm and having plenty of surface space in their tanks, then they need to feed more for it. They're also going to have to do more water changes like every week, or stay on top of it and counteract that. Some of the orange-eyed shrimps, they're really aggressive. It's good to feed them every day, but it's not needed. So,
Have you ever guys had or currently have vampire shrimp? No.
I'll talk about those in a second. I'm sorry, I'm being rude on those ones.
Are you not done?
No, I'm not done. Does it look like I'm done? All right, Amanos.
You're this many questions behind.
The reason why they're so hard to breed is because they live in streams as adults. They get pregnant. They release the eggs. The eggs are released as larvae. The larva is taken down the high flow freshwater rivers, pumped out into the brackish or even saltwater into the ocean. They're the larvae. They feed on plankton and other little microorganisms. And I don't know if the brackish water is needed for that first molt or for them to morph into the second stage of their development. But as larvae, they cannot live in full fresh, and they cannot eat a majority of the foods out there. So cultivating the plankton or buying it can be the hard problem. Moving them into a saltwater tank. Do you go brackish? Do you go full saltwater? People have different success levels with trying each other. It's also, a slow acclimation process from fresh to salt. And then you've got to flip a switch and move them from brackish back to fresh, or from salt to brackish to fresh. And you do all of that just for a $3 or $4 shrimp that, by the way, if you catch it from the wild and you send it over here and you put it in your tanks, they don't have the ELO problems or the parasites that majority of the other imported shrimp have that are being bred and kept in nasty stagnant ponds where they can't see the planaria, the scuds, and the hydra and all that other nasties in that pond. And then, it's brought over, it's in the system, and then sadly, it's passed on with those other imported shrimp. We just don't see that with the Amanos. It's not a problem. So to go and replicate all of that hard work and all that just for a $3 shrimp, and then I forgot to tell you, the most I've ever seen somebody take 1,000 Amano eggs. Like, these things have like 300 to 1,000 eggs. So people are taking multiple clutches of eggs and only getting like 5 babies, 6 babies, maybe tops. So very, very low survival rate. Not a lot, of success with anybody's method. There's no for sure follow this recipe and you're going to get 1,000 Amanos every week. It's just very unlikely. But again, it's not impossible. There are people out there that have done and bred the Amanos, just very, very small amounts. and you ask them if it was worth it, and they're probably, maybe if they're a nerd, oh, for the research, it was fun, it was a great experiment. But there's people that try to make a living off of doing that, or side hustle or money, and it did not go well. So then that brings it up to the all-time hardest shrimp in the hobby to breed. Of course, freshwater. I didn't touch anything saltwater. I didn't mention the opaula. Why would I do that if you can't mix salt and get those to breed? Like, you probably can't put chlorinator in your water to take out the chlorine. So it should be super easy. However, we've got the red nose or the Pinocchio shrimp. We've got the vampire and the bamboo. And I've had, I think the bamboo or the vampire, one of the two when we first started shrimp keeping. And I've had the red nose, but I know there's far better keepers at the time that were keeping and trying to breed those shrimp. They had no luck. I did get the red nose with the intent to get those to breed, and they never did anything well for us. But as far as I know, the vampire and the bamboo shrimp are just like the Amano, same larva stage, everything like that. But I haven't heard of a single person that's even tried to replicate that or have any success with the babies or anything like that. So it's just, those would be the hardest ones that I can say. I know some of you think the beginning of the list that was a joke, but they all have different levels to the breeding and keeping the colonies pure or not pure, but just as best as you possibly could. So I think the people are done hearing me talk. Shelby, it's your turn.
What's new? Scuba C says I use Prime when I water change my grow tank. Is that okay? Yeah, Prime is great.
Yeah,
Prime is wonderful.
If you have chlorine or chloramine in your water, Prime is our number one go-to dechlorinator to take those hard chemicals, metals out of your water, neutralize the toxins in the water just a wee bit as well. Just know that when adding Prime, it is going to add 10 TDS to your water.
What size tanks do you have? Probably said it. Sorry.
These all behind us are all 10 gallons, but we have everything from 5 gallons all the way up to the 16,000 gallon pool outside. And yeah, there's shrimp breeding in the pool, so I'm going to count it. They're wilds or green coals, but they're out breeding the koi fish that are. Oh, Dr. Anthony is like going to kill me for that one. It's just they're out breeding the koi, and yeah.
Oink said, as a first-time shrimp mom in hard water, high pH, well water, what would you suggest? Only Neocaridina? Can bamboo be beginner friendly?
So if you're looking to breed, Neocaridinas are going to be great for that water. And bamboo, like I just mentioned, they're not going to be able to be breeding, but they're great to be kept with other Neocaridina shrimp alike. The only thing with the bamboos is they're filter feeders, so they like it dirty. So we recommend, and that's why I have the main reason why I have the shrimp NB baby food on the website is because I like micro crabs. I like my bamboo shrimp to be well fed if I were to have them, but I love my micro crabs. And for the micro crabs, they're filter feeders as well. And for all filter feeders, dirty water, they're going to be cleaning and picking out those particulates out of the water column. So high flow is a good one to have with that. There's 0 entries on Mini Christmas. Did we do something wrong? All right. What was I just talking about? All right, the filter feeders. So high flow, and you're going to have to feed some powdered food to keep the tank nice and dirty. But hashtag Mini Christmas. What did we do wrong?
I don't know. I guess it's because I started it before we started.
I don't know. Hashtag Mini Christmas. I'm sorry.
Mini Xmas. Don't
Mini
say
Xmas.
Christmas.
Hashtag Mini X.
I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened. I just went to check it to see how many people were in there.
There's
and
6
it's not.
entries, so one person just did it the correct way.
Oh, so sorry.
It's fine. The people will forgive us. We've got 15 minutes
They
still.
won't. They're
to
gonna
re-end.
all leave.
I'll give you your money back, everybody. I'm sorry. Everybody's raffle ticket will be refunded. Please email me at grainteater@gmail.com and I'll send that right back to you. All right.
No, our emails will be bogged. That's already a problem.
But yeah, the bamboo high dirty tank, high flow dirty tank, and they'll be great with the Neos.
Welcome in. Tim says, I believe I have 2 male/female purple metallic. Would you add a male or female blue boa or wait out for shrimplets? I've had them almost a year and no babies.
I would take out a male of the purple metallics and add in a female blue boa. Male to female ratio is a real thing. I think I mentioned it just briefly with the red calcio shrimp that I had gotten, or some leopard tigers maybe. And if you don't have like a good 2 males to 8 to 10 females, like a 1-to-4 ratio is going to be at least minimum. You can have the males ganging up on the females and just stressing them out. And instead of dropping their eggs, they're going to retain their eggs and keep them for when they think that they're not going to die in labor.
You have dark green shrimp.
Yes, we do. I do not have them available just yet. People keep emailing me and asking for them, and I keep selling them. And today I didn't think I was going to make the order of 20. I thought I was just going to be able to cut it close, but I made it. I need to do some extensive culling. Did we put a sale on the green emerald shrimp? When somebody asked me what shrimp I would like to sell, green emerald culls. Like, some of them are still going to be nice and green. Some of them are going to be black. Some of them might be orange. But yeah, I got to go through those and move them around. I've got one cull tank. It's the guppy tank, so I can just move them in there with the purple steel guppies, metallic guppies. I don't know what they are. They're your guppies.
Your average fish keeper said, have you played around with Caridina Maria? My local fish store has them and having a little debate of myself in getting them.
Yeah, so there's super tigers, there's the orange-eyed blue tigers, there's red tigers. We've done crosses with all of them. The orange eyes, of course, are going to be the most fun, but it depends what kind you have. If you got wild tigers, that'd be interesting too. I wish my local fish store was cool and brought in like the wild type tigers off the import list and stuff like that. Maybe we should just start like looking at import lists since we have the resale license from the wholesalers that are in Florida.
Will you name a shrimp Bubba Gum? That would be hilarious, but probably not.
No, I think we're going to do a theme for the names of our shrimp coming up, but like the Headless Horseman was not on theme at all.
Do you need a dechlorinator? In my tap doesn't have chlorine.
It probably has chloramine if your tap water is city water. If it's not and it's well water, then no, chances are you do not need chlorine.
Green jade shrimp, do you sell them and what would they cost?
Do we have culls on the website still? I think all we have on the website are culls simply because they're another shrimp that I've been selling faster than I can get them ready for the website. So email us at grainteater@gmail.com. Check back in like 2-3 weeks, and I'll probably have some green jades that I'll sell to our subscribers, our watchers, our fellow supporters before I put them up on the website. No, we don't have micro crabs. I've tried them. I should probably stop putting them into really heavily planted tanks where I never see them. I thought they were all gone, and we saw one like a month ago. It was a nice surprise. 50 entries. We got 10 minutes until we're going to
pull. You didn't hear it. Re-enter hashtag mini Xmas because I messed up. Sorry.
Eric asked for his super chat back.
Yeah, you said.
For the money back. It was for the raffle ticket. No, for the super chat, mate.
All right. Yeah, Christmas sauce does really well. All right. So to give you a break for a minute, I'm gonna say welcome to everyone that I have seen come in today. So it won't take that long, but I can answer some of the other questions.
You set a break.
Welcome in. Hopefully you're all still here. Mason, Brando, Cora, Dave, who had baby kittens. That's adorable. Fish Fam Christmas Poetic Song. It would help if I write better. Jerome, Guppy Beast, Arctic Winds, Vibes, Rob Bloomfield, Lady Guppy Beast, Benjamin Peters, Harley from PNW Customs, Fish and Tank Ticks, Spaghetti Nona, Benjamin Peters, Sassy, Richard Reynolds, Michael, Geek Boy, Big Shrimpin, First Class Finn. Oh, Fish, sorry. Man, my handwriting is terrible. John, who's watching this and taking notes for Michelle, welcome. And Larry D, Glassbox Swimmers, Beta Aquatics, Snoop, Sage, Beauty and the Buds, Lucas from LRB, Fish Guy Ranch, Joseph, Gone Shrimpin', George, Yellowstone Aquatics, Saints Bust Aquariums, Snap Tight, Boots. I love this one, Boots and Cats and Boots and Cats. My daughter thinks she can beatbox because she does that. Scotty, welcome in. Crown Tail Half Moon, Malcolm Reynolds, Robert from Ray Aquatics, Daniel, Stephen P, Scruffy City, Mitch, Shrimp Warrior, Aquaballs, Liquid Rock Aquatics, New Local Austin, Dustin, Jay Oliver, Noel, Zen, Xanadu, and Mountain Greenery. Welcome, and MC Aquatics, I see you came in here as well. Thank you all for joining us. I'm going to get back to some of the other questions that was asked that I can answer. I saw First Class Fish asking about the beta not eating. Is it doomed? I've had beta fish that go quite some time without eating, especially if they're stressed. I would do a water change if you haven't done that already. And then switch up the foods. Try everything, because some beta fish will stop eating and they only want particular foods. I used to feed my beta fish certain Bug Pro, and then when I didn't have that and I was using these different flakes, different even bloodworms, they wouldn't eat. So just try different things and make sure the water's really clean, and that's all you could do. Sometimes they might have parasites too, so that would be something to look out for if their belly's like a little swollen, and that would be a problem. If you feel like there's something wrong with it, always add salt to the tank. That would help a lot. That has been like my go-to lately for fixing anything wrong with my fish, is put a little salt in the tank. There's charts online, 10-gallon tank, I believe it's like a half a cup of salt, and it'll help tremendously. And then do some water changes. LRB asked if we kept the siren we caught the other day. No, we did not. Actually, Dr. Anthony has the siren. There is so many in the area that we don't care. We could go back for more, but we just don't have the means to have one right now. One day,
sent it to the university.
Oh, sent it to a university.
No, his university.
Beauty and the Buds mentioned that she thinks I look like Liv Tyler, which is hilarious because I've told Grant about that. And like one day,
isn't that who John from KG Tropicals?
I think so.
John, that's also ironic because Fish Fam Christmas, we've got
did I say hi to
a little giveaway, that's planned. We can't talk about that, but
I wrote it down. And
I think there's two things from KG Tropicals that we will be giving away.
Yeah.
So I'm just happy we're giving away some good product and from somebody that I can get behind and support as well. So,
but yeah, I had two people in one day when I went to the grocery store and then another store, and then it was really, really weird, and I had not thought of it. It's crazy. Of course, only Oscars said guessed 420 tanks. That would be Grant's magical number for sure.
Oh no! If we set up the rack in Jaden's room, I think that puts us at that number. I can't remember the math right now. No.
Laura was jealous of my tank top. It's actually a dress, and it is pretty cold out. I actually have a blanket with me for once, and it's not as cold as anywhere else though, and I'm still complaining. So that tells you.
You go back like 15 minutes on the stream though. She was fanning herself.
Oh, because I am sweating right now.
Take the blanket away, woman.
I know. Oh, I didn't have it on me till I said something. I'm hurting.
I can turn the fan on, but it'll start hitting the tanks up there because somebody likes to put tanks where the fan blades go. I don't know who would do that.
But Laura says she ordered 4 tanks off of Amazon, and it's supposed to be here next year for her next year's goal of those 10 tanks.
All right. The only way we'll let it slide, you got to let us know, hey, I'm sorry, Professor. I'm just not ready for the exam. I need some more time. We'll let it slide this year, but you'll get a failing grade next year for sure.
Failing grade? Passing grade, you mean?
Failing if you don't. We'll let it slide this year, but if you don't next year, you'll get a failing grade for sure. I said it right.
You did not say it right. We're going to go back to that. What time is it?
I said it right.
You sounded weird. Richard was working too much. That's why he had to schedule it at that specific time.
I believe it though, Richard. You're a hardworking guy.
Someone asked, I didn't write it down, saying Molly's for containing Hydra. Molly's would probably eat Hydra.
They're also going to eat the shrimp though. That's going to be.
But I don't think it was for a shrimp tank. I think in just general to contain Hydra. Would you suggest Molly's? Molly's tend to eat and snack on everything, so that probably would be the best out of any fish.
Can't recommend it though because I've never seen it even eat one. So
I've just seen them nibble on everything.
I don't know. We have Hydra in one of our tanks. I found it last night with Mark, and I don't know where it came from, but I have a feeling it's from one of the plants we got from the nursery next door. It's just weird that the tank next door doesn't have any Hydra. But there's fish in the tank, so maybe the blue Galaris or the red brick swords are eating the Hydra.
Okay. Should we draw the first drawing?
Is it at 1:30? No, 3 minutes. Hashtag mini Xmas to get in.
MAS. You said it like it was moss, like MOSS. Can you not?
I said moss.
Oh
moss.
Man, you're driving me. Oh, I'm in so much pain, and you're stressing me out. You're stressing me out, man.
Just pull that up, and then that's the hashtag. Then everybody knows. M&C Aquatics brought to you. Fish. Did you get the super sticker?
Oh, thank you so much, First Class Fish, for the $1.99 super sticker. We're a little slow tonight. Sorry.
Much appreciated. Don't worry. I got you. I saw it. She would have saw it too, but you're supposed to jump on them. So
I know.
We appreciate them, Shelby.
John said, how's the reef tank coming along? Not started at all.
I have accepted defeat, but with a small victory because we do have a macro algae in the Opalula tank, and it is still there. We got that back at AGA, and it's still alive, it's still going. I'm hoping to see my neighbor walking down the road, but I haven't spent like any time outside. I just get a measurement on the new tank, and then I'll get that saltwater tank in the garage, and maybe it'll just stay salty. I don't know.
Thanks, Robert. Good night, First Class Fish. Hopefully I answered your question before you left. All right, let's see. So we have 60 entries. I feel like some of you are definitely missing it still. Some of you must not want Christmas box.
Hashtag mini Christmas.
June says, I know the answer to this, but I want Grant to give me the bad news. Should I separate the green and jade shrimp?
So the green emeralds and green jades?
I'm believing that. Have a good night, Robert.
I can't say that they're going to turn into wilds because I haven't done it yet myself. I did the blue dreams and blue diamonds together, and they didn't make any wilds. But I I can't say if the green emeralds, and I don't know if that's exactly what you're asking. I'm sorry, June, but you can do it, and then it's going to be easy to separate them if it goes wrong. So why not find out?
Welcome in, Matt. And oink, the glow shrimp are on the horizon from what I've heard. I don't know about snails, but those would be cool. It'll potentially probably make some weird. I just hope the pet stores don't get them. Honestly, I just really hate that the glue, fish and everything keep going to the pet stores and they just look terrible and their quality is just awful. I think if home breeders were able to breed glue fish and shrimp and snails would probably look a lot healthier and probably wouldn't freak people out as much.
I don't know. I think it's a good thing because the kids in the hobby, kids could see the glow shrimp, get into it. Maybe they'll grow, mature, and want to get some of the nicer varieties later on in life.
That's what I'm saying, but I don't want them to be at big
But
box
that's
stores.
how it is. It's going to be. Accept defeat.
No, we need to raise our fist against the men. Take down Petco. Take down PetSmart. Let's destroy them. Who's with me?
I forget what country just banned all GMO fish.
Doesn't a glow Oscar sound great? Yes, that would actually be. It would be really cool if it was like not the whole fish glows, but just like the red part of like a black Oscar with the red. Like what are? Man, I haven't even thought about Oscars in so long.
Just every time I read only Oscars comments.
Yeah. And then I'm like, man, I miss my
Oscars. Draw it.
You missed
the time.
You missed the time.
You missed the time. Mini Christmas. You don't have to pay shipping. We're going to handle it all.
Sin! And she's the one who came in here and was like, what's the hashtag for? I love it.
Well, way to jump in at the right time. Congratulations. Much deserved, I will say that. You have been supporting us for quite some time and always friendly in all the chats. So let's start it right away with the next giveaway.
Let's get the hashtag right this time.
Let's wait for Shelby to do the hashtag, and then I'll announce what the giveaway is for.
How am I supposed to do the hashtag if I don't know what the giveaway is for?
Just hashtag TGOE.
You're such a basic.
I mean, it's basic, but it's easy. And then Mini Christmas, that was a disaster. I don't know who chose that as the hashtag, but it's never again.
Oh, I know. Bad luck. Continue.
TGOE.
Hashtag
it's right here. All right. So we've got two things we need to address tonight. One is the giveaway at the end of the stream last week. All right. I'm not saying there's going to be
Eddie,
one this
welcome
week,
in.
but I do plan on putting some end of the stream giveaways. I like that. But we got a question at the end of the stream last week. It was, how many tanks do we have in the house? Well,
welcome
some of you were listening. It was homework. I actually gave you guys the answer in the chat while we were doing the stream last week, and Monster Fish Gal, she was first. A few of you were listening. All right, I know it. A couple of you got it right, but Monster Fish Gal, you were first, so you got the giveaway from last week. What did we give away last week, Shelby?
What?
You wrote it down. Do you remember what it was for?
For what?
For the giveaway at the end of the stream last week?
Not the giveaway at the end of the stream.
All right. That'll be easy to figure out what that was. So, Monster Fish Gal, please send me. So, it's $100. You sure?
Nope.
All right. Hold on.
No idea.
I didn't say that. I don't know what's going on. We'll figure it out. But Monster Fish Gal, please email us, granteater@gmail.com. And we will get that out to you. What's up, Kenny? I see Kenny got one of our gift cards to give away on his channel. That lucky dog. I know he's probably thinking if he could enter in his own giveaway.
Cordellen said, if you were going to order shrimp stuff from KG Tropics, what would you order?
Don't put me on the spot like this. I don't know what they have on. Whoa. I would get the Shark Pro CJ pump 100%, and I would throw it in a shrimp tank and try and see if that's shrimp tank compatible or not.
Have a good night,
I
Larry.
don't know, but that is probably what I would spend the money on. I just don't know what they have other than the CJ pumps. That's the only thing I've looked at on their site. So I apologize, John. I watched your videos, but I haven't needed anything that I can't get wholesale. I'm sorry.
Thank you so much. They said, you guys have a great live. You keep it interesting and fast-paced and just awesome. It'd be much better if I wasn't in pain right now.
Oh, and if this isn't fast-paced enough, you should learn how to watch the streams. If you're in the replay crew, there's a way to watch it 2 times fast. Kind of sound like a chipmunk. Shelby just loves the way she sounds.
Oh my gosh. I was like, who's
I actually think like when I'm doing my talks, it makes me sound like Ben Shapiro, like the way he just spits them all out. And I'm not like a fan of his or anything like that. Just like a certain couple videos that popped up. And oh man. It makes me sound just like him.
Beauty in the butt. Shelby's begging to be put out of her bed. Oh man, I might not be able to make it the whole time. I got the okay to smack you.
I told you I don't need you tonight. You can go lay down. I'll handle this.
I don't know if you can though.
I mean, maybe if you caught up the stream, it'd be a lot easier for me.
Is it just me, or does everyone else, Bob, know their head up to the shrimp song? Yeah, I definitely do. The whole time it's going on, you can't see. Molly's try to eat plastic plants in my brackish tank. Mollies are dumb. I love them so much.
We caught some nice sized mollies catching shrimp for Dr. Anthony. Now I need to apologize. I was waiting for Crypt Keeper.
See, it was up. I don't understand. The giveaway did something wrong. It was definitely like, see, it's working now, but I don't know if it's because I started before the stream started, and I think that's the problem.
Oh, you started the hashtag before we even started the stream?
Yes, I think
that's got to be
happened.
it. That
should
was
work.
it for sure. No.
When you are able to click the title of the stream, it should work. It should have no issues. I just want to do that
again.
Obviously.
All right.
Captain Obvious. I'm going to get him a shirt. Get him a little captain's hat. Captain Obvious.
Can we get one for Jaden that says Captain Junior? Because he's on the ball with that.
He's with you, too. What were we talking about before?
I was apologizing for the lack of Crypt Keeper tonight. He's very disappointing. He's going to get to the two times speed thing that I was talking about, and he's going to be like, oh, yeah, I taught him that. And then he's going to get to this, and he's like, oh, now he's talking crap about me. But I couldn't possibly do that. I have nothing but good words to say about Crypt Keeper. If you haven't gone over to Crypt Keeper's channel, make sure you go see that after Garcia's channel. Don't forget, Garcia was actually here tonight and donated $5. So, Crypt Keeper second.
Scuba Steve said, if I ordered Brightwell Rio Oscuro and it came super dry, is that bad?
Squeeze the substrate. If it turns to dust, then it's bad. But if you can squeeze it and it's some like nice firm like dog poop that you stepped on in the backyard and it hasn't turned to like a hard rock or something like that, then it's good. If you got to put like a good amount of pressure on it and it still stays like together, you're good. It should be all right. But also, we've tested some super dry substrate and tanks, and it was still buffering, but it's going to turn to mud a little bit quicker, but it should be all right.
Look at that fancy. That's our hair just watching on TV. That's cool.
But back to Crypt Keeper. I've got nothing but good things to say about him. He actually did the shrimp contest video for Chicago. If you haven't seen that, please go ahead, check that out for us. But he does a lot of work for us behind the scenes, and he generally has a ton of well thought out questions throughout the week. And I like to pick out one of them, or he likes to save one that he wants to be heard in a little bit more depth onto the streams here to share with you guys. The videos, those have just not worked in the past, where we played his little video that he sent to us. Sound control, it's just not there. So we were going to just post his question of the week this week, but sadly he's not there. So I see you, Guppy Beast. We had it for you on Saturday, but we didn't see you there.
Said I'd like to give away the plant package I won last week as a Christmas gift from Guppy Beast. Hashtag Guppy Beast if Grant and Shelby are cool with that.
We'll
do that
give that
next.
away as soon as we're done with the
What? Don't look at
I
me.
don't know why I'm looking at you. You're distracting me, and I don't know why. We'll give that away after we give away the shrimp. I didn't even announce what we were giving away. I'm going to give away 10 yellow Neocaridina shrimp, or you can get a nice little food package.
Oh, Crip's here.
Oh, Crypt Keeper, please ask your Crypt
You didn't
Keeper
finish your
question of the
sentence,
week.
though.
If you didn't want the 10 yellows, we have the food and a bag of aqua char that we will be giving away. It is a 100-gallon portion, so it is still they're about, the cost is about the same as the yellows. Considering the yellows right now are on sale for $3 a piece, the aqua char and the food deal is better. The bee's knees and our soy ahoy. So you get one of those two choices, and of course, are you able to find Crypt Keeper's question of the week?
Not yet.
All right. Oh, he's saying hi to everybody. He made it here. He probably showed up right when I started talking smack about him not being here. Oh, just great. And he's probably like messaging me like, I'm here. And I don't have my phone. Do you have my phone?
Welcome in, Big Cat.
Let me get my phone. He's not going to ask it. I need my phone for it. It's all the way over there.
It is much funnier to watch you struggle.
She loves it. She absolutely just seeing me struggle makes her day.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here. I'm only about 18 Ricos behind, though. Well, you need to catch up and just ask your question, please, Crypt Keeper. Just scroll down. It's got to be there. You're killing me all.
It's going. I'm going.
Zen said, wait, what's the hashtag for? I just answered that. Wait, no, this is way old. Oh, this is Frozen. You have got... No, I don't know what's going on. You don't have
Maybe
Crypt
the
Keepers?
hashtag was misspelled before. No, there's nothing here.
Okay. Fine. Crypt Keeper's just leaving me
There you
hanging.
go. No, it was there.
I
I'm messing with you. Crypt Keeper Aquatic said, question of the week. My blue bolts are showing some of the characteristics you were describing last week. Decided to make them into a hybrid. If I use a Galaxy for Crazy Blue, how many more types? And with that question, I'm going to go lay down. Don't forget about the hashtag and drawing it.
All right. So, this was not the question, Crypt Keeper. You had a better question, and it was for the orange eyes, or I got to choose which ones you wanted to do. So, all right. Say you cross them with your Galaxy Pintos. You are offering absolutely zero new genes to the equation. The Galaxies are already going to produce Crazy Blues. Your Galaxies are also going to be able to produce Blue Steels. So you're really just increasing the amount of blue steels that you're going to be producing, and then some of them are going to come out like the crazy blue, and then you can select and breed the crazy blues and get way more varieties of those. But I wouldn't go that route. Your question of the week, I thought, was would you cross crazy blues or the orange-eyed, red-bodied, uh, the orange-eyed, blue-bodied red tigers? I'm sorry, I said that backwards. And I thought the choice was between those and the orange-eyed blue tigers. To me, the clear choice should be the orange-eyed red tigers with the blue bodies, simply because you're going to be able to, take one male from that project and then cull all of your male blue steels. And then you can start to make several different projects. You can do orange-eyed tibies. You can do orange-eyed, um, uh, the solid red King Kongs or the red devils out of making those lines. You could even make the lapis, the reds, the blues. You can make your own orange-eyed blue steels. Really, the list goes on because the Galaxy Pintos have all the genetics from all the Serrata genes and the purples, the metallic colors. You're going to have the stripes, the patterns, the dots on the head, the headgear. Everything's going to be there from that gene. The only thing it's missing is the orange eyes. And the red tigers with the blue bodies, for whatever reason, they throw like the coolest color tie beep combo that I have. So I think when you start to get into those orange-eyed tie bees or the orange-eyed tie bee, the lapis and stuff like that, I think you have a higher chance of like getting a red and blue orange-eyed shrimp in the same color. Even though the red body is the red tiger blue body is already that, but you're gonna get a hybrid that has it. And if you look around in the hobby, you don't see very many red Galaxy Pintos with a blue stripe, or vice versa. But with the red tiger blue body, I think you have a higher chance of doing something cool. And if you're trying to make something new and not just try to copy something in the hobby, I think that's the fastest way to do it. That's what I would do, only I don't have any orange-eyed red tiger blue bodies myself. I have some red tigers with blue bodies, but they have the normal eyes. So really nothing cool to be done with that project. I can make some really cool tibies myself with some pure red lines or other crystal shrimp, but I don't have those eye combo that you have. So I would use that since you're able to go down a road that I can't right now. So you've got the advantage. So all right, I don't know if anybody missed out. Hashtag TGOE. Shelby needs to be here to share the screen and all this other stuff. I am dying now. Like, this is why I need her. She's never taught me how to do that. And every single one of those buttons, nothing says share screen. Oh, man. I'm sorry. The hashtag will continue. All right, this is what we're going to do. I can improvise here. We're going to do hashtag TGOE, and we're going to draw it twice. So the first, oh, wait, no, I hear Shelby coming. Scratch that plan. Back to plan A. Shelby's going to share the screen, and we're going to give away either 10 yellows or some bee's knees, soy ahoy, and aqua char. I'm gonna watch what
You're
you do now. So
I mean, I've only done it 100 times in front of you. Share
present.
screen.
All right.
No, share screen.
But that says present at the bottom.
Percent share screen.
Gotcha.
Press giveaway tool. StreamYard under microphone.
There's a lot of steps here.
Share.
I'm probably gonna have to watch this a couple times.
Look at that, and we click draw.
We got one more time
Go back
tonight.
here.
I'll learn.
Hide this comment so everyone can see whose lovely name wins.
Oh!
And it's Brennan!
Congratulations. This is one of our regulars for sure. Long-time watcher, great supporter. And you just email us, let us know. You want some, I don't know. You probably have some yellow Neos from ours already. So do you want more yellow Neos, or would you like the food and aquachar? Let us know, and we will get that shipped out to you next Monday. All the giveaways are usually shipped out the following Monday. It is just our time where we have the most time in the day. I'm sorry, Monster Fish Gal, your package wasn't taken care of today. I don't know why. I didn't get to it because of Dr. Anthony. We figured out who won. I just never figured out what they wanted to give it away.
For what?
For the thing last week at the end of the channel.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Guppy Beast.
And she actually had it within like the first couple minutes.
Yeah, like really fast.
Yeah.
She listens.
So I knew who won. I just never went back to figure out what I gave away. All right. So, do we have the next one? Hashtag Guppy Beast.
Hashtag Guppy Beast.
He required that, and I almost gave it away without him. Oh, man. What would I do without you, Shelby?
We definitely did get our boost plants in. Some of them did really, really well, and all of them are just there one or two that are gone.
It wasn't a video I wanted to post. I will be making a different video to give you credit and bring you into with what we've done with some of the plants, but to be discussed later. You can message me, I'll explain.
And if one of the mods can put Guppy Beast link to his channel in there as well. They are local to us, Guppy Beast and Lady Guppy Beast. They do some videos of their own as well. Just making sure I didn't miss anything. Scotty. Poor Shelby just wanted to lay down. Where would you be without Shelby? Struggling, sitting here wondering where I'm at. Shelby, get some tea or she's just not laying down. I'm actually a little bit better, like just getting up and down. I don't know.
It was all the talking that I was doing before, just an hour straight, and Shelby just stomach starts turning, and she's like, I can't deal with this guy anymore.
Welcome in, Kenny from ABC Aquatic Biotope Creations. We know. Shelby is definitely Plan A. I love these. These are so great. It's my whole night. You have no idea. I'm going to make a shirt that's for him that says Shelby's Plan A. I'm Plan B, but please go find Shelby. Oh, man, that'd be so good.
She now has 2 good shirt ideas.
3 good. You didn't like the little things matter? That's because the little things don't matter to you?
I gotta figure that one out. It's gotta be a good design.
Stephen P was even trying to walk you through it. Look, he was there for you. You just don't know how to read.
P, you know Mariko behind.
Matt even present. Yeah, and everyone's calling you young in this one, but I mean, he hit 30, and it's just it's going
I
down.
do great at the slot machines. Let me tell you what. The machines know. They feel bad for me.
That is so good. Okay, catching up past.
Get a little loose. You spend like 4 days with somebody that has a PhD, and you're like driving like you've got a ton of cocaine in the car, and you don't want to get pulled over because you're driving a doctor around. Oh, can now loosen up. Do a couple accents. I wasn't doing that in front of the dog.
We love you too, Grant. Oh, make that shirt. Richard said, I want that shirt. Oh, that is great. What was it? Oh, so my name on YouTube is TGOE Shelby K, and so is it on TikTok, my original one for the shrimp. And my workers don't care about my business. Like they're just, wondering if I'm going to yell at them again. So, they're pretty nervous. But I was talking to him, I showed him my thing, and my coworker goes, Does that mean the greatest of everything? That's what they thought that it said. And I was like, no, that's my business name I've been telling you about for 5 years. So we've been working together. But okay, thanks. I can't tell you how many times I heard Find Shelby. Do you know, actually, it's more embarrassing how many times I'm walking around, because if you can't tell how close I get to the camera, I can't actually read very well. Like, I can't see. And
Why don't you just
I
go
can
get
read.
your contacts done? Stop
know.
working for this guy. Freaking catching all these shrimp every Monday.
Every month. That's the only day that I would actually be able to go.
No, you can
get
go on
it.
Fridays, but she wants to come
Friday
have
now.
fun and go collecting with me. So it's like
Yeah.
priorities, right?
Priorities.
Can't see, but she's somehow catching the fish. She's just blindly throwing the net.
Our son was doing the same, and he did really well.
He was doing this,
He was
weird,
out
woo!
showing,
and all of a sudden he's got a bluefin Achilles, and it's like, where did you get that from? And he's like, oh, I just did woo, and then another bluefin Achilles. And we're like, how is he doing this? We just want to catch one of them. And then I was like, Alex, he came from me, so it's like I caught the bluefin Achilles, right?
And
he's like, yeah, it counts. It counts. And then I caught 2 Elasoma, so I was like, that kid ain't got nothing on me now.
But how many people at the shows? I guarantee you some of them are in here. How many times have I turned around and I'm like, where's Grant? And like, he won't even be far. He'll be like 10 feet and they're like, right there. And I'm like, man, I told him to stop wearing black t-shirts because I can't find him in a crowd. I can't do it.
I'm going to start wearing full camo, then nobody's going to find me.
Yeah, right. So that would be a great shirt. What is your favorite thing about fish keeping?
I should have a camo shirt that says hiding from Shelby. Please don't rat me out.
Oh, I'm going to do that. Not a camo one, though. You know what? I'll do it with shrimp pattern. Camo shrimp colors with shrimp pattern.
All right, but I'll let that happen. But instead of rat, you put a picture of Tech Nine's face.
Don't shrimp me out. Tech what?
Oh, Tekashi 6ix9ine. God dang it.
Like Tech Nine.
Totally.
What's wrong with you? All right, you're going to have to go. What is your favorite thing about fish keeping? I enjoy watching them. Okay? You want to know how beautiful it is? This is what's the most beautiful thing ever. Grant's face. I'm just kidding.
Look at those cords in the kitchen, the dirty kitchen. Here.
It's not dirty kitchen.
Dang it.
Can you make sure
dirty.
I'm on the angelfish?
You're not on the disc. Oh, yeah, you are.
I said angelfish because that's where they were.
They're all in this corner.
Can
and then there's a boost clump that's
upside down because they're jerks.
The flow is turned off.
But that's the best thing, is just to sit there and watch them. Honestly, that's the best thing. Everything else is a lot of work. It's not fun. Just enjoying them, taking pictures, the best thing about. And the second best thing would be meeting everybody here, for sure. Besides watching, obviously, the fish. But fish keeping in general, you find some good people. I need help. Please go find Shelby.
I think I'm going to put the spray bar on that, and that'll stop the flow.
Santa will need Shelby.
I am okay with that.
I'm lost. Please find Shelby. There was the cutest like older couple shirts that were like that. That if I'm lost, please find my wife, and it had her phone number really big on the back. And I was like, yes, you need to do that for me though.
I'm never lost. I just need your help.
I guess Shelby might have been right when she dropped the basic line on it. Outing themselves for never listening to a word you said about TGOE. Yeah. Ouch. Yep. You should have seen my face.
Gotta pull them up.
Try reading. Read them out loud. So that I can read up close. That's why my face is usually like right here in the screen. But far away I can't. I've heard that a lot too. Where's Grant? Y'all are constantly looking for each other because usually I need help. Always. TGO traffic flag sticking up. It would be so extra. Like we bring buckets with like 20 stickers on it, and it's crazy.
When we get the Tesla bot, it'll just hold the flag and walk around, so you'll be able to find me.
Camo in Florida. I think that's the uniform down there. You know, absolutely hate it. He had one pair of camo pants. That was the only thing that was allowed to stay camo. I can't.
And they weren't even like I wore them. They were like
I don't care.
They were work pants for when it was like cold, and it's never cold enough to wear them.
Yep, I came for the fish, stayed for the people. That'd be a good shirt too. That should be the Fish Fam shirt. That should be the Fish Fam shirt. That would be so cute. Whoever is in charge of doing shirts for Fish Fam, that would be the best one. All right, here's a question. Liquid Rock Aquatics. Do you know if there are any accurate shrimp stickers out there? I want to plaster a mug with one and epoxy it.
Not that I know of.
I could probably find one. There is an Asian artist that has like pretty good accurate paintings that they paint of shrimp, but I just can't remember the name right now, obviously. I don't think I know the name, but hopefully I'll remember it.
All right, 5 more minutes, hashtag Guppy Beast, and we will pull that, and then we'll head out.
Scuba C says I'm blind. You just need him to waddle. Wow. I don't get it, but I feel like it's not good. Air tags on one another. That's funny.
Yeah, but I'm great. I'll put
Does
the
he
air
wear
tag
cargo
on
shorts year round too? No, Grand dresses. Grand dresses
don't
like
interrupt
Adam
me.
Sandler.
I'll put it on a dog. Yeah, I love dressing like Adam Sandler. He dresses like he's got the fashion of the 2020 whole decade for sure. But now I forgot what I was gonna. Oh, I would put it on a dog, and then Shelby would be mad, but then happy because I put it on a dog.
Yeah,
so,
it better be a good dog.
It's gonna be a fast one.
Matt said, Shelby, you could really kill it on TikTok by making Florida man shrimp keeper videos about Grant. I could. I think my videos are doing pretty good, but I have one that's in the works that I told Grant about that I was going to do for the last video, but I came up with a better idea, and it's going to be when we probably potentially go down south a little bit further, but keep an eye out on my TikToks.
Every time I do Florida man shenanigans, nobody ever gets it on film.
Yeah. Oh, fun fact, Grant probably wouldn't even remember this, but I was going to become a Florida rapper. I have said this joke.
You already said this one.
But
you need to come up with new jokes. Okay,
You're really annoying me tonight.
Just kidding. What were you going to say? But what?
So my whole idea was to use sounds from Florida, and one of the things, you guys have to look it up if you don't know, sandhill cranes. I was going to use them as my beat in the background, and they sound like prehistoric dinosaurs. And I thought it'd be so funny to use like weird like frog and alligator and sandhill crane sounds for my beats, and it would have been great. Saran wrap would have made a killing. We would have been living large right now. Got to pay for these shrimp tanks somehow.
No, I don't remember what I was going to say.
So I don't mind the gray and white camo, but in Florida, not exactly environmentally appropriate. I guess if you laid down on like the dirt roads out there, they're all white limestone. Oh, it's easy to find Brian at events. Just listen for a tank meeting a rock or someone going, "No, Brian!"
It is not easy to find Brian.
No. Usually you turn around and he's gone. And I'm like, where'd Brian go?
You don't keep him busy, he'll go find something.
Oh, legally blind. Yeah, I'm worried that it's getting there. Not good. Yep. I can't drive at night without glasses, so imagine how many trips we've taken with it. Has been not good. Yeah, see? Definitely should be a Fish Fam shirt. I'm still in denial and pretending that my eyes work for now. I'll try that. Have a good night, Benjamin Peters says, thank you so much for spewing so much info. I hope you feel better, Shelby. Thank you. Have a good night. I guess Alex has some. Negative space style ones are pretty accurate. I have never even seen them, have I? I don't think so. Says I have air tags on my wallet, the dogs, my keys, and I lose everything. Has it been 5 minutes?
Oh, yes. Now 5 minutes. Hashtag TGOE last second.
All right. These weren't working that good tonight.
All right, I think I could do this.
Think so?
No.
You know so?
I'll forget by tomorrow.
Yeah, you will. Oinky! Hopefully you're still here. Oh my gosh, I stutter so bad. Congratulations. What did she win?
All right,
I already
so that
forgot
is
we were
the
getting
plant
Guppy Beast,
package
the plant
from Guppy Beast
Guppy.
last week at Guppy Grass. From
Perfect.
Guppy Beast.
You're
Thank you very
struggling.
much
It
for
is not
passing that
Guppy
on.
Grass, though.
No, I know. I'm just.
So email
all over the
us at
place.
granteater@gmail.com. We were supposed to use the new email tonight. We forgot.
You forgot.
But just give us. No, you already said it 3 times now.
You forgot to remind me. It's your fault.
All right,
Everything
in
falls
stream.
back on you. Plan A is Shelby. If that didn't go right, Plan B. So when something's wrong, you guys all know whose fault it was, and then I have to fix it with Plan B.
Big Shrimp and the other. Second giveaway was won by Brandon, and now third one by Oinky.
I think that's going to be all for this week. It has been a lovely time with everybody. Thank you all for watching. Is there some questions? Any last minute questions?
Tired?
Get them in now.
Kenny, make sure you have that on Fish Fam so people can start following you on TikTok. Has over 21,000 views in 2 weeks and still growing. That's crazy. It says if only my YouTube would do that well. I feel the same. We had a lot of videos did really well on there and it just stopped. All right. I don't see any questions. Making sure.
I hope I didn't forget anything. Oh, I hope so.
Plan A, Ash Shelby. Plan B, have that Grant Ash Shelby.
That's a good one.
Thanks, guys. Can't wait to kick it at the next event. I can't wait either. It's killing me to not have them lined up. So we got everybody. There's no questions and the 3 giveaways. So.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Replay crew, sorry to disappoint. There is no question of the week.
Yeah.
But thank you, Guppy Beast.
You answered a question of the week.
No. I meant for like a giveaway at the end, the replay crew.
Oh, I mean? We'll come
Not
up with
this
next
week.
one. Yeah.
We'll do them randomly at the end of all the live streams every now and then. But stay tuned for next week. I will be a whole number older. So it'll be a whole new Grant.
Oh, yeah. His birthday is Saturday.
No, it's not.
What?
No, it is.
Can you stop? I'm going to ship him out for his
I don't want
birthday.
people telling me happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
She's like, what are we doing? I'm like, water changes.
Every year for his birthday, all I do is cook and clean and make sure that he is taken care of.
I can't get her to do it any
24/7.
other days of the year, so it's like, I'll take it when I can get it.
So we're going to end on that note. Have a good night. Thank you, everyone,
I still
for
have
watching.
to live to 31, though.
Everyone, with your
Sleep
donations.
with my eye open tonight.
Oh, invest in duct tape for next time. Thank you. Have a good night.